prone scapular CAR. So this is a progression based off just a standing shoulder blade CAR, or scapula, excuse me. And what we're doing is we're gonna lay in this prone position or on our belly and bring our leg over the edge of the table like you saw in the intro video to kind of lock up our low back. And the reason we're gonna go into the prone position is standing, gravity's working straight through the shoulder joint. So it's a little bit easier to kind of move that shoulder blade as much as possible. And it's a little bit harder to load the shoulder blade because of the way gravity works through the joint. So if we go onto our belly, inherently gravity is working straight down, so I'm having to resist gravity a little bit more. And then it's really easy to take an object like this. So this is a 2-pound ball. It's where I can have an object that I can squeeze as hard as possible to create tension in the system, and then also to add an external load. So for you that are at home or have limited equipment, this could be a plethora of things, but like a bigger can of soup, right? If some people have like 2 or 3 pound 2 or 3 pound dumbbells, something along those lines. Be creative. Maybe you take a textbook and you hold it. The biggest piece is you need something that you can elevate, that will elevate you so your arm can hang off of it so it can move freely. So that may be like a dining table. It may be like the edge of your bed, just something that you can elevate yourself from the surface of a floor. So when I get into this position, this is what I'm talking about by dropping that leg over the edge so I can lock up my pelvis. I'm gonna rotate my head toward the working side, and I like to just rest that. And if I'm gonna do it without the ball first, the idea is if I'm trying to make as big of a circle clockwise and then counterclockwise, and your clock is gonna have a little bit of a wrapping effect because your shoulder blade can move around your rib cage. So like just in this position, if I keep my elbow locked out, I can move my shoulder blade around my rib cage in that front to back position, and then I can go up and I can go down, and then if I combine those together, I'm going to get that circling motion. So I'm trying my best to keep my elbow locked out so I'm not compensating through my elbow. And the only thing that I want to be working is that shoulder blade. Now if that's super easy, you're not getting much of a stress through the joint, or it seems like you can't even feel any muscle working, just by adding a weight, I can squeeze that pretty dang hard to create some tension, and then I can go back through the exact same setup of doing that CAR or that rotation where I'm working clockwise and counterclockwise. So a lot of times as we move through these progressions, especially for people that have a hard time feeling their shoulder blade, or they've had some limited mobility, or they're coming off an injury, whatever it may be, that joint, meaning the shoulder blade on the rib cage, can get kind of gunky, and you'll feel like abnormal sensations. Some people describe like catching, or like where it feels like we call it crepitus, right? Where things are like popping and clicking as they're sliding over each other. Typically that stuff will clean up over a period of time as the joint mechanics clean up, as your strength gets better, as your motor control gets better. All those things kind of augment each other. So be mindful that clicking, popping is not a bad thing. If you have questions, reach out. We just shouldn't have any sort of significant pain symptoms in this position.